It's Friday night, time to get your nerd on. We got Mr. Know-It-All, the SaltyTrekker and Danny Dork Night. Are y'all ready? Aight, here we go. If you're looking for me, you know where to find me. Cause tonight is going down. On Friday night, we have nerd fights. It's on tonight. On Friday night, we have nerd fights. It's on tonight. On Friday night, we have nerd fights. It's on tonight. On Friday night, we have nerd fights. It's on tonight. It's on tonight. Y'all know what it is. It's Friday night. Time to get your nerd on. We got Mr. Know-It-All, the SaltyTrekker and Danny Dork Night. Are y'all ready? Aight, here we go. If you're looking for me, you know where to find me. Cause tonight is going down. On Friday night, we have nerd fights. It's on tonight. On Friday night, we have nerd fights. It's on tonight. On Friday night, we have nerd fights. It's on tonight. On Friday night, we have nerd fights. It's on. Driving beat.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time to Nerd Fight!
Step into the ring, it's time to brawl. Nerd fights, baby, we're geeking for all. Marvel, DC, Trek, and more. Pop culture battles, settle the score. Nerd fights, let's get loud. Nerd fights, yeah, for the geeky crowd. Nerd fights, hey, it's time to throw down. Bring your fandom, it's the hottest showdown. Who's got the takes? Who's got the heat? Mr. Know-It-All and Salty can't be beat. Let's fight!
That means only one thing. It's time to fight.
Beat drops out with the final shot.
Nerd Fights.
Let's fight!
Oh my goodness. Welcome to Nerd Fights. I am Mr. Know-It-All, your host, and joining me as always is SaltyTrekker, the true captain of this starship. Sir, how are you this week?
I am.
It's like, hey, whatever.
Yeah.
No, it's been crazy. So where have we been? And yes, Preacher. So here's the thing. We live in two different time zones, and I never know exactly. When I schedule it, I'm always like, is it 1 hour behind? Or I'm always trying to figure out, because the account for our streaming account is actually in his time zone, and I don't know how to figure it out. So that's on me, probably. We're early, but it's okay. Either way, I'm just been excited to be back. It's been a very long time. I've been on a hiatus a little bit.
Yeah.
We can talk a little about that too if you care. But for the
Well,
for
I
the most
just
part,
told people that you had some personal things you were going through, because I didn't know how much you really wanted.
no,
to
that's fair. That's fair. No, and I do intend to put some kind of a video out talking about some things, and I know that there's some other stuff that I'm kind of thinking about for all of our channels, actually, especially after some of this new news has come out from YouTube. I don't know if you're aware of it, but
Yeah,
YouTube's starting to.
thing.
Yeah, and that's like huge. No deaths in families. Jeez Louise, Preacher getting so serious. Anyway, but the whole world has exploded and blown up, and I'm not even talking about like politics. I'm talking about entertainment. The entertainment industry has lost its mind.
And by the way, Danny's in the chat. Danny, of course,
Hey!
if you're home and free, then you can
You're
join.
always welcome, bro. Come on.
So just let us know.
Yeah, totally.
But I mean, your name is in the theme song, so
It totally is the theme song now. You got to
But,
show up.
but he still hasn't put you in the actual opening part.
That's right. You got to show. I know, but I do appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, there's been a lot going on while you were on hiatus there. I mean, because we were going to talk about, oh my gosh, so Running Man and
Running.
because
Oh my God.
this is how long you've been on hiatus.
I know. It's terrible.
Not just what was the other one?
a few.
The Predator
Predator,
movie, Predator
Badlands.
Badlands,
Love to talk about
and
that.
then Sisu.
Yes, which by the
we're
way, I've seen.
You finally saw it. Okay.
Yes, it was wonderful.
So yeah, we're going to talk about all three of those movies.
It's so good. I want to find the original, and I'm
It's-
like,
the
how do you have
original's like on Tubi. It's free.
how do you have a sequel named the same thing as the original?
No, the original's just called Sisu. The second one's called Sisu Road to Revenge.
Have you watched Welcome to Derry, by the way? Because Preacher's asking about it.
I have not.
Okay, So, welcome to Dare. I'm not a horror fan. Welcome to Dare is one of the greatest horror series I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
It does, and I'm blown away by the depth, because not only are they giving us a story and a background, which I thought was gonna be super corny. So, hang on, I thought it was gonna be really corny, and because they do this whole the military is looking as usual to do military things, and I'm like, come on, guys, you're not really gonna try to tell me y'all are trying to get like Pennywise to work for the military. That's stupid. But no, that's exactly what they're doing. But they're doing it in the craziest way. And so the whole time they're putting, oh, there you go. You got the poster?
Yeah, I tried to make it look like it's like CG on there.
That's how we get down.
Yeah.
But no, and trust me. And by the way, we are going to be talking. We're going to be talking about all the things we got to talk about. Real quick, before I get into all my story about Welcome to Dare, which by the way is excellent, we are going to talk about the Netflix Paramount thing, and we're going to go deep into that one because that interests our audience. You guys are Trek people. Hello, what's going on, Robert Rose? Appreciate you, brother.
Shalom.
And so I want you guys like we have thoughts about the future of Paramount specifically, how it pertains to whatever's going on. Because believe it or not, in either way, whether or not, however the thing happens or susses out, I feel like Star Trek is it's either gonna go one of two ways, man. We're gonna hit a home run and find ourselves the salvation of something good, or it's just gonna keep on spiraling. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, well, okay. So as far as Star Trek is concerned, new management sometimes, let's be real. New management at Paramount is the reason the Enterprise got canceled.
Yes, 100%. It's a good point. Excellent point.
Yeah, because that's when Les Moonves came in, was when CBS took over.
God, I want to spit every time I hear that guy's name.
Right. And so that's, that ended the Berman era of Trek. Besides that, Les Moonves, by the way, actually had a personal... What's wrong with Steve Preacher, man?
So get out.
Les Moonves had a personal grudge with Brandon Braga. Which is why Braga left the series for season 4. Right. Now, that being said, Manny Cotto took over the series, and he was the right person for the job.
I do agree with
that. And you haven't seen it yet, but season 4 of Enterprise is totally different than seasons 1 through 3, and in a very good way. I think if season 4 were season 1, Enterprise would have done much better in the ratings.
I agree.
Because Manny basically said, and I actually watched an interview with him just last night about this. He basically said, hey, you know what? Let's make Enterprise what said it was going to be, a direct prequel to the original series.
How hard is that, right?
And so they just started introducing all sorts of stuff that was going to be in the original series.
Right, which again, made total sense.
Yeah.
So the other thing that we're going to be talking about tonight is going to be the ever so divisive, which I don't know why it's divisive, the Supergirl trailer dropped. And
yes.
There's all kind. Yes, you do have, absolutely, Anthony. You do have royalty in the chat. That is Danny. Danny, we love you. So yes, absolutely. Everybody say hi. But Supergirl, the trailer dropped, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But specifically,
Supergirl in the trailer looks a lot like Danny did when we were doing the show before.
That's awesome. It's not the wrong time. It's that we already talked about it, Daniel. I apologize. That's what's the wrong time as much as it is. I can't get the time zone thing right, so we just was like, yeah, screw it.
Mr. Know-it-all's just, he's not a know-it-all.
But the Snyder Boys came out in mass. Everybody like posting clips. They're posting clips of like some of the worst scenes from either Man of Steel or BVS or any of that stuff, and they're like, it was such a downgrade because they're talking about Krypton, and I all I can think of is, so let me get this right. Krypton for you that works is when it looks like He-Man Battle World, not the scientific utopia that Krypton's supposed to be.
I actually like Krypton from the 1979 or 70, absolutely 79, right? Yeah. From the 79 film. I thought that was a cool vision. Yes, the visual effects are a little dated, but if you did that same style updated, and guess what? You end up with something very much like what we got in the Superman movie this last summer, as far as the Fortress of Solitude, was very much in the vein of that classic Krypton.
I agree, 100%. I agree. So anyway, and then and lastly, we're gonna spend a little time attacking the other people, because that's how you build a relationship on YouTube. Critical Drinker's starting to become a little insufferable, and you actually have some background with him, and so or at least that crowd. And my whole thing is, look, I feel like at some point people should not be afraid to voice our opinions. I'm happy to say, listen, if you like something, you like it. If you hate it, you hate it. What I don't like is when the fan base of someone else, who, by the way, is an asinine prat, to use his own term, but at the same time wants to sit here and just be the least consistent critic of all time, which only lends credence to the fact that he's literally grifting. And I'm like, bro, come on, man. How real? Like, what's real? What is your actual opinion? I'd love to hear it. Well, that and your actual voice, but whatever.
Well, I think his voice isn't that far off from what he does.
No, I know, but I think he purposely affects it a little more.
Oh, sure, because
it would be like,
yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we got to go to the message. You know, remember he used to say that all the time.
All the time.
Which actually, that was back when he was funny.
Black Delegation, Drinker's voice is like nails on a chalkboard, bro. For real. You're just like, come on.
Drinker, look, you know, I when I first found Critical Drinker, I found him extremely entertaining.
Right.
In that, because he and keep in mind, if you go back, watch one of his videos from like 4 or 5 years ago.
Right.
And you'll notice a big difference. One of the things is that most of the jokes in his reviews were about himself, about how he was, you know, in a drunken stupor, passed out in the theater, but he figured he'd try to write a review anyway or something.
Right,
you know,
totally. There was a shtick to it. Now it's kind of become something else.
Now he's just, you know, riffing on movies, and half of which it seems like he hasn't even seen.
That's okay. Because there's times, and don't get me wrong, I know that a couple of members of that crowd do get access, because studios are stupid and are complete punishment whores. Because there's a mentality you have to understand in Hollywood that says any news is good news. Like, if you're talking about me, clearly it's a good thing. And so they're like, hey, y'all want to come watch this movie? We know you're going to hate, but you'll talk all about it. You know what I mean? So he goes sometimes, but there's other times when I'm like, bro, what movie are you talking about?
Right.
Because that's like I commented, because he said something. He's like, well, it looks like Kryptonians of the galaxy and all this stuff. And he talked about how it's like, it's getting a team together and this and that. And I'm like, did you actually watch the trailer? Because none of that's true.
Yeah, like, Superman did not join the Justice Gang.
No, okay.
You know,
like, what are you talking about?
He was adjacent to them, but like even in the big final fight, it was like Superman and what's his name, Elemental guy.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know, but it was
Metamorpho.
Yeah. But it wasn't like, you know, Guy Gardner wasn't there, and because they were off doing the thing in the desert, and so I actually really liked Superman, even though it's disjointed. It's a flawed movie, but it's a fun flawed movie. It's a flawed movie with a purpose. If you know, the whole point of that movie is to get you back into a universe that feels like a comic book universe. However, now it seems like we're flipping the script a little bit with Supergirl.
Well, and I feel like this, and again, we're going to talk about that, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay. Let's and guys, by the way, the chat's open. We'll jump around with you guys like we always do. Yeah. But I really do want to have an opportunity, because I want to make sure we don't miss anything, because we miss some stuff sometimes.
And yeah, Street Preacher, yeah, like when Mr. Plinkett did the dead hookers in the basement stuff, that was hilarious, right? It was morbid, it was dark humor, but it was really funny the way they did it.
That's right.
And it's the same kind of thing with the early Critical Drinker stuff. And look at Red Letter Media now. Now it's a couple of guys sitting around, you know, blowing each other about how awesome they are. And,
oh my God! Shots fired.
And so, well, I'm sorry. It's just the channel has completely lost its entertainment value for me.
No, I understand.
And they're not. And here's the problem: none of these guys are good critics, right? The thing that made them good was their entertainment value. Mr. Plinkett was great to watch. Are they great critics? No. You know,
I agree with that 100%.
yeah. Critical Drinker was
Danny, I love
fun
you.
to
Thank
watch.
you, sir.
Is he a good critic? No, he's not.
That's awesome.
And
All
yeah,
right, all right, all right, all right. So let's actually go ahead. And we're gonna do round one. We're actually gonna be talking a little bit about.
well, you went underwater for a second. Say that again.
Sorry, we're gonna be round one. We're gonna talk about Netflix versus Paramount. Let's
Okay,
have that
Netflix.
conversation.
Well, it's not
All right.
Netflix. It's
No, well, hang on, because let me set it up for everybody real fast.
Yeah.
December 15th, the announcement came out from Netflix, and that hey, we've acquired Warner Brothers, woo! And everybody's like, whoa, hang on, and because the day before, Ellis over at Skydance Paramount had sent a letter and publicly, which by the way, according to everybody inside at Paramount, they were mortified by the fact that letter was sent. Genuinely, they were just like, "What are you doing? You're embarrassing us." And so that's begun a battle, so to speak. But for the most part, the dialogue has begun about Netflix and Warner Brothers. And I would like to actually try to have, I know it's been probably rehashed in other places, but I would love to try to see if we can have some kind of conversation about what that means and what could mean. But then not a week later, Paramount has now issued a hostile offer, a hostile bid, which is a complete counter. I think there's nuance that has to be looked at about that whole thing because too many people are getting the ideas confused. Netflix is a studio. They are a studio. They just don't produce they just don't produce a lot of the same. So for instance, and I come from a very unique place. I actually had a deal with Netflix at one point. It's one of the major NDAs that I wasn't able to discuss, but that NDA ran out last year. And so my wife and I were producers. We had produced a pilot. We had gotten funding, and we were literally in the process of negotiating with advertising dollars. That's the whole product placement in your thing to help fund the whole thing. We had a rudimentary, rough deal, or in essence, a promissory email, which in the entertainment industry is just as good as a deal, according to my entertainment lawyer then at the time, a very good, high-priced lawyer in Atlanta. And so when that whole thing, our deal was, if we could come up with the funding and produce the final, we were 12 episodes we were committing to. They were 12 half-hour episodes, to be fair. I want everybody to understand that. Mm-hmm. Then everything would have continued on and gone well. The minute the pandemic happened, everything shut down. So some of the things I understand about Netflix, genuinely, is that they do have some things they produce themselves. Most things they actually get other people to produce for them, and then they buy them and they slap Netflix on them for the rights.
Which, to be fair, a lot of studios do that.
Yes, absolutely.
That's why, like, if you've ever noticed, if you ever go to the theater and you see 17 logos before the movie, it's because
Gonzo, good to see you, buddy.
It's because when it finally gets to Warner Brothers or Fox or whatever, they're just the distributors at that point. They had nothing to do with the creation of the movie. They just bought it and are shipping it out.
Daniel, aren't those essentially the same thing? Let's be real. Okay, how many nerds aren't packing a little bit more? You know what I'm saying? I am a proud large man who works in this industry in terms of the nerd world, and I bear it proudly. As clearly, so does my cohort.
Although, to be fair, you have lost a bit, so
just a little. That's what stress will do to you. But you do good, man. It's all good.
But
oh my God, Preacher says, for instance, I heard Squid Game made the rounds in Hollywood, but nobody wanted to make it. Then it got made in Korea, and then Netflix bought it. You are correct, sir. And then, of course, Netflix learned all the wrong lessons, which is bring more Korean stuff. I'm like, no, Squid Game was unique. It was a thing. Bring unique Korean things.
Really good. That's the thing.
It was excellent, bro. Yeah. That was unique in a way I'd never seen before.
It's just like season 1 of Wednesday. Every now and then, Netflix makes something that's gold.
Right. Yes.
But the problem is they have this tendency to kind of screw it up. Like Squid Game season 3, I would say wasn't horrible, but it was nowhere near as good as season 1.
Robert Rose reminds everybody, thank goodness for Grit TV, where I can watch classic Western shows and movies. Not a sponsor of the show, but always welcome. I don't know, man. Those are cool. Show some skin, and I'll give you money. I don't know, man. I don't know if anyone wants to see my moobs.
Who? Which one of us?
I was going to say, nobody wants to see my moobs. Trust me. Okay? Just put it out there.
It depends on how much money, I'll tell you.
Okay, if we get us now, we'll do
I will absolutely whore out my moobs for money.
If there's at least, $50 sent to go to the what channel? Go to the Exposed channel.
Yeah.
thing.
Are we
And
streaming on the
yeah,
Exposed
yeah,
channel?
yeah. I put it across everybody.
Okay.
So if you're at the Exposed channel, which is simulcasting, you put it there, and I will do the truffle shuffle from $50.
Oh, there you
I
go.
will do the
Truffle
truffle
shuffle for
shuffle
$50.
from what you call Goonies.
You can't beat that.
I have no shame. My homeboy here, I will totally whore myself off for, bro. Let's go. Feet. Angel Studios buys
So-
movies that are already finished. True. No, they absolutely do.
But back to the deal though, is
Danny
that
gave our trouble shuffle. Danny already did it. Go ahead.
so if we look at this deal, the big thing, of course, is for nerds, is that Warner Brothers is the sole proprietor of DC.
Yeah.
And so, because they have an exclusive deal with, does Warner Brothers own DC Comics, or are they just in an exclusive partnership?
No, they own them. They own them.
Yeah.
They bought them. Yeah, they acquired them fully a while
Yeah.
back.
I mean, because like I know Disney acquired Marvel Studios, but they also got Marvel Comics in the deal. But Marvel Comics is like nobody cares. Just like DC, nobody's buying comic books these days. So, yeah. But so that is a significant property to have, and Warner Brothers has a lot more than that. I mean,
Oh no, for sure. They have the Harry Potter franchise. They've got. I mean, there's a tons of the Hunger Games here. Tons of things. The only reason this discussion's even happening is because the top 5 movies this year are all distributed by Warner Brothers.
right.
Warner Brothers put them out. And so they're they're smart. Zaslav's like, we're doing it Jordan style, going out on top. Who wants to buy it? Let's go.
So here's what I think. What I think needs to be done.
Okay.
We need to start a GoFundMe for $200 million or billion, million or billion.
Billion. It's billion, buddy. It's billion.
So we need a GoFundMe for $200 billion, and we will do a hostile takeover of Paramount, and then we will own Star Trek.
Oh, and he said they also Street Preacher reminds they do have it's HBO Max.
Right.
So let's get real quick. I want to talk about the finer points of some of the deal points. So everyone's like, "Ooh, Paramount put down more money, 108 billion versus the 83 some odd billion or 87 billion that Netflix put down." Okay. Before everybody gets hung up on numbers that don't make a lot of sense, Netflix was offering $83 billion for the core of Warner Brothers. They argue that they didn't evaluate the video game side, and everyone's like, what about all these games and those games? They mentioned all these video games, but the honest to goodness truth of that whole thing is that a bunch of those games are legacy games that have just been getting DLCs and everything else. There's really not a whole lot of new that's been coming out of that studio. It still has wonderful properties, and that's fine, but let's not pretend like those things are like rocking and rolling and just ripping through, putting out content. They're not. So as a result, Netflix was like, well, you're going to, and Warner Brothers already started the process of spinning out Discovery and their terrestrial products. So the TNT, USA, those things, TV stuff that Netflix has no interest in, into a new entity, which is going to arguably take the bulk of their debt with them. They had like $105 billion worth of debt that needs to be accounted for somewhere. And they're going to be taking it and a lot of it with them, which will raise the whole thing. And ultimately, they being the stock owners of Warner Brothers, have a whole new thing to sit there and sell, develop, whatever, and get more money for. So
to be fair, if Netflix wins this battle, Netflix can absorb that 100 billion in debt easily.
100%.
But because they are the biggest cash flow company on planet Earth.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing to me is who stands to do better by getting a hold of
Street Preacher said, don't you guys have any Saudi prince buddies?
I wish I did, man.
Yeah, let me call Prince Bacharach or whatever his name is over in Dubai.
I would definitely be calling my Saudi prince buddy if I had one.
That's awesome.
So if we look at from a Netflix perspective, it bolsters the Netflix brand by them being able to roll HBO and Max into Netflix in a similar way that Disney did with Hulu.
Now, do you think that's what they're going to do?
Over the long term, absolutely. Because here's the thing, the name of the game with these is to always just get more subscribers. Well, What do? You say, hey, guess what? Yeah, for everybody's been for $20 a month you can get Netflix, but
It's
for
what
30
Disney
bucks a
did.
month you can get Netflix with HBO.
It's what Disney did. I currently have Disney Plus, HBO, and Hulu all in
Right.
one package.
Right.
The Hulu and now it's rolled in even on the whole thing. You don't even have to have Hulu anymore. It's part of their platform now.
Right, because Hulu is now just part of Disney Plus. It also now on the Paramount side of things,
Yeah.
I think Paramount stands to gain more.
Oh, of course. Oh my God.
Because
Right now they're in one of the weakest positions that they've ever been in.
right, and Paramount would not only get a huge bolster to their IPs, but they would also get access to worldwide streaming, which they do not currently have.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
means instead of rolling HBO into Paramount, they could roll Paramount into HBO.
Yeah, that's exactly right. By the way, preacher, you're talking. I mean, Netflix would be $39.95 tomorrow. Like as soon as the whole thing goes through, they're like, "Hey, guess what? Blah blah blah," and now it includes this. So anyway,
but I think
Daniel Stetson says, "Stupid chat doesn't work."
now the other thing to consider is the difference in what's going on because Paramount is attempting a hostile takeover. So if they are successful, then nobody has a say about it.
What does that mean? Let me explain real fast. Go ahead.
A hostile takeover is if you purposefully you usually put out cash offers to people so that you can get over 50% of the voting power of the shares of the stock. Because once you have 51%, then you simply vote in your management.
It absolutely does, by the way, Danny. It does look desperate, especially when everybody who knows anything is sitting here going, "Where the heck did you get all this money, Paramount? You haven't been doing nothing."
Well,
like everybody realizes Paramount should not, like, that should be the biggest question mark. Not even the Saudi connection, because I'm not going politics, but I'm just talking, which I know there's a huge connection between the Ellisons and the whole administration and all the question marks there, that I'm just like, all that stuff's dirty and gritty and I don't want to get into any of it. Right. But at the same time, it does matter. And it also, and it's funny, they're like, when he puts out the letter that goes, we would have far less, federal problems and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, can you just admit because you're filleting the administration? What's going on here? Stop it. You sound like this sounds bad. This ain't selling me. It's not the flex you think it is, my man.
Right. But I do think, and as far as it sounding desperate, sure, but they are desperate. Let's be real. Like you said, Paramount's in a weak position right now.
Oh my God, this is the greatest angle I've never thought of. As a fan of professional wrestling, more specifically EAW, both these deals worry me since Netflix and Paramount both have ties to TKO, who owns WWE and likely wouldn't renew AEW's contract with TNT. Wow. So in essence, they'd be able to lock them out. That is an interesting angle. Danny, I need your take on that as a wrestling fan when you have an opportunity, because I would love to hear your thoughts about this very thing. So hopefully Danny Dorknight saw this one, because this is up his alley. So yeah, man, that's a great point.
I don't know jack about the wrestling world, so
but here we are worried about like Star Trek, and other people are like genuinely worried about their IP.
Right?
Like, there's actual.
Well, that's the thing. There's a lot of IPs at stake here.
Hold on. Why not? Who cares? Give me there's a lingerie wrestling on YouTube. All the wrestling. My daughter went to go watch midget wrestling with her boyfriend like a month ago.
Hey. It's not called that anymore.
Actually, they said it was. Yeah. They were pretty adamant about it too. I loved it.
Shouldn't it be like dinklage wrestling or something?
Little people or something.
No, it's a dinklage match. That's what you're going to.
Can't they all just fight it out? That's what I want. I want Netflix to pick their wrestling team and Paramount to pick their wrestling team, and you just do over.
No, here's what we do. We get some nerds involved because we all love nerds, right? So each team, each team gets to pick from
every
their
fandom.
IPs.
Every fandom picks their champion.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And so Star Trek, you pick your ship and all that.
I want it.
And Warner Brothers.
Harry Potter's sitting there with their little wand and.
Yeah.
Skydance. Yeah, Blue Sky. Skydance. Yeah. Okay, it's Skydance Paramount, but everyone's calling it Paramount because they're doing so. That's funny you mentioned that. It is Skydance Paramount. Notice it's not Skydance that's going for this merger. Possibly because I think regulatorily they may be too soon from their recent merger. I could be wrong, But I thought it was very interesting that it was specifically named Paramount. Now they mentioned owned by Skydance or Skydance, whatever, blah blah blah. But it's Paramount that's pushing this forward as a name.
Hey, by the way, I would pay money to see Snow White horror wrestling.
I only if it's what's her face.
But it has to be the Snow White from that stupid
Rachel
movie.
Ziegler. I want Rachel Ziegler so bad.
And she can even get the 7 deformed creatures to come with her.
She probably need him as backup. Hi, folks. I honestly think physical media or copy and digital is the only way to go. If you're a film or TV fan, you will want your own copy that can't be taken away or edited. I have to admit that. And I myself, I have a Plex drive that I've been filling. I have, I do have a bunch of physical media. So at the end of the day, like, I'm with you. I'm with you. If you
I will
own
tell
it,
you. Okay, so let me say 2 words about that. Play on.
Sure.
If you don't know, Play On it's completely legal. It's completely legit. But Play On is basically a home DVR service, and what you can do is you enter in your credentials for every subscription service you have, and you can literally download the movies to your hard drive in a fully editable.
Are we going to get taken off for talking about this? It sounds so shady. I'm like,
no, it does sound shady,
but it's super shady.
But it is completely legit because you're DVRing. You're not. You're DVRing services that you subscribe to. So Play On doesn't get you access to Netflix.
I got you.
You have to put in your Netflix credentials to access it, and Play On can then download it.
That still sounds kind of. I don't know. I mean, I'm with you. Yeah. It sounds.
They're on the up and up. They're a completely legit, above board company. They're not like dark web.
There's nothing quite like someone selling you something going, no, it's completely legit and totally above board.
Correct. No, what I'm saying is,
I think you might be pushing it a little hard, bro.
No, I'm just saying, Play On is not a company that is. Oh, have you seen Play On?
Gorilla's Random Thoughts. I love you, bro. He said, "Come on, be lurking while I make wontons. Let's go." I love it. Time to watch SmackDown. Go have fun, Danny. I love you, bro. You're good, man.
Danny and the SmackDown.
Street Preacher says, none of the streaming services offer uncompressed audio. Your nice, expensive AVR is just playing like MP3 audio for movies.
That's true. But you know what? Let me be completely...
He's so harsh. I love it.
I will be completely honest with you. Even though, unless you have a $10,000 system that you're watching the movies on, you are not going to notice a difference.
Okay, so let's get in. When you get a second, I really want to get into this. Okay. Let's talk about Star Trek. So, so as we're talking about this whole thing, because there's a whole big. Well, that's a lie. There's the Snyderverse idea, which is that if Netflix buys them, the Snyderverse, that's a whole big thing. And a whole nother. We'd need another hour to have that conversation, and we're already about to get into them with the Supergirl thing next.
Right.
So my big issue is if Paramount were to win Warner Brothers, what do you think? Where do you think does Star Trek get lost in the shuffle? Does it strictly go movies? Because I know they've already said the new bosses are looking to. They've already got a movie in development that is not connected to anything that is pre-existing. They said,
right?
Which to me, I don't know that I like that idea. I don't know that I even like that verbiage.
I don't either, and I don't like the idea of Star Trek going back to film. To be honest, I think Star Trek needs to go back to broadcast television. Not
broadcast television is literally drying up.
Yeah, but that's where Trek. You know what? Even though you say that, but there's still millions and millions of people that watch broadcast television.
No, I understand, but not enough
everything
to make it worthwhile.
Everything that's broadcast on CBS ends up on Paramount Plus.
I agree, and again, I do not question them. What you're saying. My problem is if you look at terrestrial television as a thing,
right?
It's right now suffering the lowest advertised. Like they can't get good dollars. The legacy,
unless you happen to be the number one show,
right.
Which, by the way, the number one show is a Paramount property, NCIS.
But if you notice, what kind of commercials are on that show? They're commercials for an audience of a certain age group. So you're getting a lot of your medications, your this and that. I mean, it almost looks like daytime television because they know every single person watching is of a certain. My father-in-law, who's 74 years old,
ban Daniel from the chat.
What's going on?
Daniel needs to be absolutely banned from the
Stop it. Hold on. I've been watching new Star Trek. It's called The Orville. First off, Daniel, I agree. I loved The Orville. Before there was more Star Trek happening that I didn't like, The Orville was the only thing holding the torch for me. I got my wife interested in Star Trek via The Orville. because she was like, I really like this thing. I said, you like this? Let me show you what he's doing. And then I showed them the next gen and I showed her that and we got into it. So like, trust me, that was a gateway drug. So I'm with you, bro.
Yeah, the Orville is for people that think that Picard just wasn't preachy enough.
What? No, it's for people
Orville
who
is
think
the
that
most
Data should have been
preachy
telling
show.
dick jokes.
When
When he was doing his comedy routine in the holodeck, he should have
they have dick jokes, but they also are the preachiest sci-fi show in the history of sci-fi shows.
Have you not ever watched Star Trek? I'm starting to think that the SaltyTrekker part is a lie.
No, I mean, look, I would agree with you that Star Trek, TNG was quite preachy.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Yeah. No, this is true. But notice he's qualifying, and that makes a lot more. This I can get behind. This idea that the last season, yes, it was.
Here's the funny thing. I agree with. In the last season, it was just more blatant. If you go back,
okay, that's fair. That's fair.
You go back and watch season 1 and 2 with the thought of what's the political message here, and you're going to start seeing a whole lot of crap. And because that you don't realize, because I'll be honest, when Orville season 1 and 2 were on, I was on the bandwagon with it because it's like finally
it's
something.
The only thing that felt like yeah. Oh God! Hearing it calling the Orville a Trek show is disrespectful to Orville.
Of course, Laura's gonna. Yeah, you see, you call me contrarian.
No, I know. Laura's the ultimate. We talked once. He's like, look, bro. I like to argue. Like, I was like, okay, fair. Yeah. I'm not gonna, I got it. So I won't go too far. I promise.
As far as Star Trek, if the hostile takeover is successful, Star Trek will suffer because right now and honestly, it's because of. If you look at, Starfleet Academy looks disastrous.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
Picard was. Yeah,
I don't want to talk about the scene. It's all bad.
At best, Picard had one season that people enjoyed of the 3, and Star Trek Discovery is pretty much considered the worst series in the history of the franchise.
That is not true.
Absolutely, it's true. You tell me what series is worse than Discovery.
I'm not saying that it's amazing. All I'm saying, no offense, the beginning 3 seasons of Enterprise I thought were crap. I don't like them.
That's because you didn't pay attention to them. Remember, we started to watch them, and you were like, "Okay, I was wrong."
It's kind of good. I don't know what you're talking about. You can't prove it. There's no tape. Oh wait, maybe there is.
Yeah.
Does Salty have a YouTube channel? No, fortunately, he does. Right here, wherever you're watching the simulcast, because clearly it's not on his channels.
Unless you're watching it on Mr. Know-It-All's channel, then you're
all the other simulcasts are his. Trust me.
But yeah, now you made me forget what I was saying.
My grandma used to have been a lie. All right, listen. That being the case, let us move on to the next thing real quick because I do think I want to take. We can always jump back to the same time you want. We're talking about now round 2, Supergirl versus Snyder Bros. Whoa, I loved the trailer. Not okay, but I immediately when I watched it, I went, God, this feels very Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right. And I disagreed with you on that.
But I did like it. I didn't take that as a hindrance. I liked it.
Okay, I'm mixed on it. I'm the very definition of mixed on it. So first of all, I wouldn't call it Guardians of the Galaxy as much as I would call it Suicide Squad. To me, it felt more. Yes, there's Guardians elements in that the outer space stuff and lots of aliens that look kind of like the Ravagers and stuff like that. But I think that the type of humor that we're seeing and the type of attitude that we're seeing, you could absolutely replace Supergirl with Harley Quinn. And so it's
different. No, because I don't think so because Harley Quinn is literally she's nihilistic and a little psychotic. I think Supergirl is very dark and I think she's in a dark place. She saw her world.
I think the best line is
metaphorically. I mean literally, and I can't imagine what that does to somebody.
But I think the best line is also the worst line from the trailer. It's a great written line, but I think it's telling of a problem in the DCU, and that's when she finishes the trailer by saying that Kal-El sees the good in all people. I see the truth, and so it's basically that she is nihilistic.
She is older, but that's only by literal. So she was born. She was this age when he was a baby.
She was a teenager. Yeah.
Her ship either took a wormhole or took a long way around and arrived through a warp of some sort. So he's older. So when she arrives, he's full grown and rescues her from her pod.
She was born before him, but thanks to time dilation, learn a little bit about special or general relativity. But thanks to time dilation, even though they both came from Krypton to Earth, Superman got to Earth 30 or 20 odd years ago, and she got to Earth like a year before the first Superman movie. And so that's why, yeah, she's much younger, and and I will say, having her being disrespectful and drunk and all that
I'm
is.
not ignoring you. I just have no at all intention of answering this question. But
I know you don't, because
no, I'm talking about this question.
Lying.
I'm not ignoring you. I'm just letting you know we did notice, we did see it. I'm not doing it. I'm not taking your bait, sir.
Yeah, because he knows that there is no series worse than Discovery. Look, I am a person that I will say I actively disliked Voyager, right? But Voyager I would rewatch 100 times over before Discovery, especially the first few seasons. Discovery did gradually get better, but Voyager, unlike Discovery, Discovery had one good episode. Voyager had a few. And so that, to me, it just makes Voyager a better series. In fact, every series except for Discovery at least had a few good episodes. Discovery.
I thought Discovery had a season of good episodes, and that was season 4. Season 4 is what made me understand.
No, season 4 is just a season that had the one good episode, and that's the one where they made first contact. The rest of it was drawn out padding to.
There it is. Oh.
Okay. Well, no, that's 100 SEKs. You got to do.
What does that mean?
That's like $5.
What is that? I gotta know. What's the exchange rate?
It's Swedish, I think. I don't
really?
know. Yeah.
Why is it Swedish?
Let's see. I'll do the math here. AK to US dollar. It's $10.79.
Really?
Yes, really.
Well, okay. Well, we.
I know it looks like $100, but yeah, it's $10.
Yes, Anderson, we appreciate you very much. Thank you, sir. Countdown 1 of 5. What are you talking about? 1 of 5 what? What are we counting down? What are we cutting down? What are we cutting down for real?
Yeah. So, we're counting down the time before Mr. Know-It-All decides to actually answer the question about what Star Trek series is worse than Discovery.
I mean, there's, I don't know, man. It's rough. It's rough out there. It's hard out there for a pimp. I was not a fan of Voyager, to be fair. I really wasn't. Honestly, it was 7 of 9 saved the back half of that for me. I thought Janeway was a horrible casting.
I thought 7 of 9 was the worst thing about it.
See, and I think when they brought her on, at the very least, they had something a little more like I'm sorry, but dude and his girlfriend were the most annoying 2 sub characters.
Oh, sure.
Oh my god! The minute they brought her on, I was like, at least one eye candy, and then oh my god, she can act, and then it just became that's cool, And then I was of age that I was like, you have The Rock. Somebody just what happened to me?
What happened? What?
I heard a thing. I heard music or something, or a sound or something.
I didn't hear music or a sound.
Fine, be that way.
Yeah. With 7 of 9, I think that conceptually she was interesting. However, I think in execution they kept doing the same story with her over and over and over.
Hold on. 2 of 5.
Oh, so
that's how he's going to do it.
$50 in.
Okay.
He's doing 5 of his SEK.
All right, fair. Number 2. And I got.
I don't know. Is he doing it on my channel? I didn't even look.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Okay. I don't have the feed up on my
No,
screen,
I know. Sorry
so.
about that.
No, so 7 of 9, I think had some great moments, but at the same time, I think that she told the same story every week.
Yes. For sure. So, how much can she deal with the whole? Well, and I've just recently found out apparently the suit was supposed to be temporary.
Mm-hmm. Well, because it was Tessa's suit.
Yeah, but it was like a healing, supposed to be like, and once it was done doing that, she should have been wearing like a uniform and never did, or something.
And yes,
Oh
it is
God,
on there.
no! That Paul Giamatti scene was so bad. I'm watching that, going, "What am I watching?" Also, how are they the lead? How are we in the far flung future and they're the most inept with everything? I'm like, am I watching a future show or am I watching? This looks an awful lot like every other Star Trek scene I've ever seen, where they're being attacked by a superior ship. Only difference is their screen or calling you is a hologram that can walk around your bridge and interact. I had problems with that whole thing. Sorry, I know we're off base here a lot.
No,
So,
no,
the Snyder Bros.
that's pretty much normal for us, though.
The Snyder Bros. Came out in mass against hey Penny, against the Supergirl trailer, and they actually had the nerve to put up the Sasha, whatever her name is, from BVS, or not BVS, whatever the Batman one.
By the way, I forgot. We have a NerdFights exclusive here.
What's that?
I completely forgot about this. 100% true story. We have a never before heard clip of the theme song for Starfleet Academy.
You're an ass.
Are you ready for this? It's awesome. Okay,
go for it. Oh my god. What was? I didn't hear anything. It was like a weird.
You didn't hear it?
It was like a hiss, like a.
Oh man. Okay, let's see. I'll bet you the noise reduction is on the mic. Let me. Okay, I'll share it.
Because they just shared the stupid thing and play it.
Right.
Gas leak.
Gas leak.
I mean, after a certain age, you know what I'm saying? These old guys, you gotta. Hey! There's 3 of 5.
I've seen the. I still have not seen the Goonies. That's terrible of me, I know. All right, and also share audio. All right, so now, here's the exclusive clip of the theme song from Starfleet Academy.
It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been
So yes, yes. So welcome to Friends in Space. Which, by the way, that was I got to give credit. Lore Reloaded told me that that Friends in Space when we were looking at one of the publicity stills of them all lying in the grass together,
which is literally bit from a show back in the day.
Right.
By the way, I'm hearing myself.
You're hearing yourself now? Oh, that's because my system audio's.
You always wear headphones.
Let's see. There. It should go away now.
Should it?
So, yeah.
Hey, there we go. Okay, good.
Yeah. Because I had to share the system audio in order to play the theme song from Starfleet Academy.
Right on. No, yeah, the theme song. Yeah, that's great.
Yes. So it's going to be so great. Man, no, yeah, but anyway, so back to Supergirl.
Everybody wants to attack the choices being made, and my thing is, this was done by an entirely different director. There is, and everyone, and I hear people going, "Well, I just wish it wouldn't have this gun aesthetic," and I'm like, the aesthetic that has literally been successful every single time. Because I'm sorry, there was an aesthetic 20 years ago that was successful every single
but you know
time.
What? Here's how
and
I
it
would
ended in Endgame. So
I would fight that though. I would say it's not the gun aesthetic complete. Okay, so like I saw, by the way, Critical Drinker already put up a video about how horrible it is based on that X post. But but Critical Drinker, you know, and a lot of others say, you know, trying to say, oh, it's even though it's not written and directed by James Gunn, it's the most James Gunn thing to ever James Gunn. I think that's how Critical Drinker opens his video. And honestly, okay, so he goes off on, he goes, well, of course it has to have a dog in it. And it's like, Krypto is established as being her dog. That's very in much. The Superman movie.
Very much.
And so if Krypto's not in it, I would be upset. Almost ready for the truffle shuffle.
Let's go.
And so Krypto.
Hold on, I gotta look it up real fast. I gotta look it up. I don't remember what.
How to do it?
I'm totally no, yeah. I'm trying to remember
you
what it was.
Your shirt and you jiggle. That's about.
No,
it.
I know, but doesn't he say something too? I don't know. Let me real fast. I'm looking it up. Go, keep going. I'm stopping.
So anyway, so but the aesthetic I think has a lot of other things in it too. The ship that we see. That looks very much like something from Man of Steel, to be honest. It looks like a Kryptonian ship from Man of Steel to me.
I mean, no offense. How many ways can you interpret that technology?
Well, but I'm just saying, I'm not. That's not a James Gunn thing, right? A James Gunn, but and crypto being in it is a necessary thing, and then he makes crap up like, oh, she's got to join a ragtag team. That is no. There's one girl that she seems to be hanging out with in the movie. She's not part of a team.
I'm sorry, I should put the first part. Is crypto de-aged in this movie? This is a prequel to Superman. It's funny you ask. I don't know, but my thought was I actually would love it if the movie literally was from when she picks him up. Like she picks him up and leaves and is like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Or vice versa. Maybe it is a prequel only in that it ends with her going to pick up her dog afterwards. Like maybe he gets
Yeah,
fixed
that's
and
what I was
healed.
thinking. You said I think the last scene of the movie would be her the same
What
as
is
the last scene from
because
the movie.
there's a moment I've watched it frame by frame. There's a moment when she's on the ground looking at him, he's injured. And he's like she's worried about him. What if she took him to get healed or fixed at Cal's place while she goes off, whatever? So then at that point the movies overlap, which I think would be cool. And who in the world said she's a lesbian? Mind you, I don't know if she's not, but I don't think she is either. Like nothing is because she has
Somebody said she's a lesbian.
he goes, his street preacher goes, oh, so she's a lesbian.
Oh, because she hangs out with one girl in the movie.
Yeah, totally. Oh, you see Penny coming in with the bona fides? Lobo. Yeah, I think he looks
Lobo
great.
for all of a half a second in the trailer.
All I needed, man. That's all I needed. I was right there. I was, let's go. Jason Momoa in the literal role he was made for.
Yeah, it's just a shame that he played Aquaman first.
I don't know. It doesn't bother me that he played Aquaman first. I don't care.
You know what? Because if Lobo goes, my man, then it's like, well, wait a minute, that's Aquaman.
If Lobo says my man, that's gonna be the most tame nonsense he's ever said because he's the main man. Lobo is the main man.
Lobo, you see, this is where one of the things I'm worried about because Lobo is
You went underwater now.
Lobo is a stellar example of this increased nihilism.
Hang on one second. The only I saw was her in a hoodie or whatever. It just didn't seem like a supermarket movie to me. I assume you meant Superman. Like, sincerely didn't pull me because it doesn't push her being Supergirl. Real quick, what part didn't push her being Supergirl? Was it the part where she's in her outfit after her regular clothes get blown away because she wears it underneath? Or was it the part where she flies and breaks the sound barrier as well as the, you see the giant thing as she's flying? Or how about the part where she grabs a chain from a guy, swings it around single-handedly, knocking over everyone? I'm just wondering, or maybe it was the heat vision. Maybe that was the part that didn't quite feel Supergirl. I'm just curious.
Well, that was more like the boys there.
I hate you. Yeah. By the way, that is the loudest, lickingest dog ever. It's like
she is obsessed with licking people. So Lobo is so dark and so nihilistic in the comics. And don't get me wrong, I know he's popular. I'm not a fan of Lobo, but I get that he's popular. I get that people are looking forward to him. And I think that based on the tone that we're getting of Supergirl, having Lobo in there fits. In fact, I was telling my wife, this should be, I don't know if it is, but this should be an R-rated movie.
Hey, Laura says, I must have saw a different one. And I'll answer your question when when you answer mine. And give me 1 second. I'll be right there. And he's right.
It's
you're
time.
Good, sir.
It's time.
All right, one time only, so don't go paying any more because you ain't gonna get no more after this. Ready?
No, do it again, and he'll do it again.
No, he will not. Okay, I'm a man of my word. Here we go. Hang on, look. I'm like, let me take my watch off. Sorry, I gotta go.
Oh, he's got to prep for this.
Right. Am I too tall? No, this works. Right here. This work?
This is the official brown truffle shuffle.
Totally ready.
All right.
There you go.
I can't.
I'm a man of my word. I feel like we lost viewers then too. They're like, "What am I watching?"
YouTube just like canceled us and like.
Thank you, by the way, very much. Salty appreciates it, and I appreciate you always being so excited to support the show. Daniel, you're a true man, and don't care about the shuffle. You did get my payment, right?
Yeah.
I love you, bro. I totally love you, man. Really, that's all. I'm blind now, Robert says. You know what? Legit, bro. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm a man of my word, though. I got to help out. Got to help the brother out.
Yes. I'm just saying we didn't know that Jabba the Hutt was Puerto Rican. See, now what you got to do is take off your shirt, lie on your side.
That's right. No, it's great.
But now you see, now what you got to do is work out so you can look like that Hutt from the Mandalorian.
No, totally. That guy looks awesome when he throws his arms up and he's like, "Oh."
Do you know who that is?
Is that is not dude? Is it really?
It's Stinky
from yeah, dude. That's crazy. It's interesting. I can't wait to see. Anyway, all right. We think we talked about this. Subo though, that's real. Totally real.
Supergirl, I think Supergirl. The trailer looks all right, but I'm concerned about the tone of the DCU. That's
see, I don't. Okay, fair. I get it. My thing is, why be concerned about a thing that works? Everyone's like, "Well, we're getting tired of." Well, you weren't tired of the Marvel wave for a while, so stop it.
But I don't want her line to become a truism in the DC.
But I don't think it's a truism. I think it's establishing something about her.
That's what I'm hoping.
I'm hoping we get to see her, because if you know anything about the story, I'm not trying to lean on that like you're ignorant, you don't know. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow is very much about her figuring out how to deal and live with trauma and still do the thing, because she still does them. There's even in that if you look at the newspaper article where the dog pees on, there's a little teeny clip that if you zoom in says it's her rescuing a cat or whatever. So she's doing the work of trying to be a hero, trying to be whatever, while dealing with her demons in the best way she can. That to me is it's a story worth looking at the very least. And how Supergirl got her groove back. Yeah, totally. Oh my God, I love you so much. It's great.
Now, I do. First of all, I want to say this. So when you try to say, "Oh, what's going to make more, Supergirl or the untitled Spielberg movie?" Well, first of all, it's an untitled Spielberg movie, so who knows, right? Mm-hmm. We don't know if this is going to be a big tentpole film or a small film, because Spielberg does both. However, I will say this: Spielberg is not the Spielberg from the '80s, right? And so he's not making Raiders of the Lost Ark or E.T. anymore, right? He's
making movies that mean something to him right now, like the one he just did about the whatever's.
But I'm saying that he's not making $1 billion movies, so I'm not expecting that from him. Supergirl has potential if it resonates with people.
All I want is a purple alien to be like, "What's up, girl?" You know what I'm saying? Supergirl in the Yaya space hood. I love this space hood. The only part of that caught my imagination. I'm sorry. Continue.
But no, I think that, and also asking about like Project Hail Mary, which, by the way, that looks like a great movie.
It actually looks really
good. And I talked to a friend last night who read the book, and he said the book is real sci-fi. It's written by the same guy that did The Martian.
Oh, Andy Weir, one of my favorites. I love him. Oh, it's great.
So,
I love him, and I never heard of this book. I am such a bad fan.
Yeah, but so I'm looking forward to that. But it's not like that's going to be a $1 billion movie.
Fair. I agree. I agree.
And
movies
are really struggling. That's one thing Critical Drinker got right in one of his recent videos. Movie theaters are as far as big, mainstream. Everybody wants to go see the movie. That is a dying thing, which I hate to say.
See, but you and I had this conversation. I don't think it's fair to say it's dying. I do agree. I've had the mentality. I know you said he mentioned something. The movie going experience is going to eventually shift to being a lot like Broadway or the theater, where there will always be indie movies, whatever, your big Oscar movies, and even your big giant tentpoles. But even that, I feel like, is going to get more. There's one critic, or this guy online, he posted a video. He's like, "What it's like going to the movies," and it shows these, and he puts like the parts of the Avengers and stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, looking around the theater," and it's like when I watch it at home, and I'm like, dude, when I'm at home, I'm also like, it's crazy, jumping up and down. So I'm like, what? How bad of a fan are you? I love my movie.
I gotta say, I love the theater experience, and so I don't want theaters to die. but I'm not surprised that they are struggling. And by the way, I think a bigger part, because Critical Drinker, I think, is way off the mark as to why it's happening.
I agree.
And
Well, because they all have the mentality, go woke, go broke. And I'm like, yes,
that's the
to a
thing. I
point,
think that
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, I think the toxic fan base is hurting box office more than anything else. Because a huge percentage of people that are fans of these movies won't go see them because people like Critical Drinker are out there saying it's a bad movie even when it's not. And he's doing it to get his clicks, to make his money, and I understand that. But at the same time, he is purposefully sabotaging the industry, along with all the other guys that are doing it. It's not just Critical Drinker, but he's purposely sabotaging this industry in the name of making a few bucks, and it's terrible. I think that is a part of the reason. I think that because Hollywood has made some really good movies recently, and hey, here's one of them.
It's a great CGI image that just comes on the screen.
It's amazing. I don't know how you do that, but but no, The Running Man was actually a surprisingly good movie to me.
Right here, bro. Right here.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Agreed. I agree with that.
But yeah, Running Man was really good. Predator was really good, which Critical Drinker ripped on both of them hard.
Hold on. But he loved him some Wicked, which I was like, wait, what? Hold on. I don't understand.
Yeah, it made no sense. The movie that's actually about girl bosses preaching to you about animal rights, he loves. Yeah, but then a movie that's a good solid film, he'll say because there's a strong female character, it's bad.
Yeah,
Running Man was great. Predator was great. Sisu was great.
Sisu was really good. I love
this. This has been a really good winter season.
Sisu gave me hardcore. What's that one?
I thought he was going to give you a hard on. That's
Quentin Tarantino, that Quentin Tarantino Nazi movie.
Well, I described
vibe. It had that vibe. It was visceral.
When I talked about Sisu, here's what I said: if you take the Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first one, the big truck chase scene, right?
Yeah.
And you replace Spielberg with Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, and who's the other one? Zack Snyder. They work together. And then you stretch that out into a feature film. That's Sisu Road to Revenge.
That's awesome.
There is no plot. There is no dialogue. It's just a guy trying to get his lumber from one place to another and fighting people along the way.
Because the basic premise is literally his family was unalived by the bad guys with the thing.
It was by the
Soviets. And so he goes in and he kills them, and it kills the people who killed his family and leaves. The quote unquote war is relatively speaking over. And what does he do? He's like, cool, I'm going back so I can get the wood to take my house. He wants to bring his whole house. And I'm like, you were just causing trouble. I'm sorry.
Not just his house.
You were just causing trouble.
He took his dog out.
Everything. You got to cause trouble. I'm sorry. There's no way he didn't go with the mentality, I'm finna kill me some Ruskies. Let's go. Okay, I'm sorry, and to try to play it off like I'm going to go get for my family. Bullcrap. That you're putting on, man. And then it becomes Mad Max Fury Road the whole way.
This is what Mad Max Fury Road should have been.
Totally. Forget all the extra.
I would say this is better than Mad Max Fury Road. This movie was probably the best pure action movie of 2025. And it was
I was shocked. I was shocked how good it was.
It was amazingly good. And like I said, when I said no dialogue, I ain't kidding. There's like maybe 10 minutes worth of dialogue in the entire
and most of it is them telling why they're going after the dude and giving the order and all that stuff. Because when himself, he's like, I got nothing to say.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, and actually, that's in the first Sisu movie as well. Sisu himself.
I need to see the first one. I have not seen it.
He says nothing until the last shot of the film, and then he just says one line to a bank teller. That's it. And this movie's same way. Sisu says nothing until he's building his house at the end of the movie. But that's and by the way, this movie was made on a budget of like $8 million.
And it's good.
Yeah.
It's
That's
so good.
$8 million very well spent.
And it didn't need anything that some Hollywood exec might be like, it needs this and that and the other and blah, blah, blah. No, it didn't. No. It needs the road. It needs conviction. It needs everybody to die creatively. And it's just wonder. It's good. It's very
and
good.
Danny, if you see this, you will absolutely cry your freaking eyes out at the end of this movie. Just from the main actor, I don't remember his name. He's Finnish. But the main actor who plays Sisu, there's a shot where this guy comes to him and offers something to him. I don't want to spoil anything, but he offers something to him. And the camera just lingers on his face for about a minute. And during this minute, he has little tremors, and he tries to smile, and he frowns, and he goes through all this stuff. And it's amazing. I mean, I cried just watching this guy struggling with how to react to what the guy said. It was beautiful. And so, Sisu, I can't recommend highly enough. But but the problem is that people are so down on theaters now that they're not going to see this stuff. And I was going to see Sisu anyway, but we happened to see it in one of those screen unseen things, which was kind of cool. Which was funny because we were talking about Sisu while we were walking into the theater, not knowing we were about to watch it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm
no, for real, Preacher. I was the same way. I'm like, I didn't peg Penny for a Sisu fan either, but she apparently did a double feature and loved it.
Well,
rock on Penny. Let's go.
You wouldn't think Penny was a big cocaine fiend either, but she.
But there we are. Now that's a tagline. Everybody dies creatively.
That's
that's real. Real. No, that's awesome.
And the thing is,
yes, it's basically like the Indiana Jones tank fight, but extended with Russians instead of the other guys. Yeah, it's crazy. She also had her ticket for Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair. Go Penny. Let's do it. That's awesome.
But I think that we need more creative storytelling like Sisu. And the funny thing is, you look at movies like Sisu, you look at movies like Godzilla -Zero, which, have you seen that one?
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's brilliant.
I didn't know because we haven't talked about it.
And they're doing Godzilla like basically year one, like plus one. And I'm like, oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah. Those movies are made. I mean, if you take the budget of Godzilla -Zero, Sisu, and Sisu Road to Revenge and combine it, you have less than 10% of the budget of Deadpool and Wolverine.
Right.
That's stupid. Because I'm sorry, I enjoyed Deadpool and Wolverine, but where was $500 million being spent?
Just apparently the new one, Godzilla 1 or whatever, they 100%. They're like, the director's like, we're getting a bigger budget, $80 million, and they had 60 last time, and I'm like, bro,
it had 16.
I'm like, bro, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? I was like, it's crazy. Yes, the original Star Wars, Lord Reloaded. Y'all see the original Star Wars is going to be in theaters, no edits? Yes, I can't wait.
Yeah, in 2027 for the 50th anniversary. And I was, the funny thing is, man, I saw it in 1977. I can't even tell you how many times. And so when 2027 comes around, I hope that I win the lottery or something, because I'm going to want to go every single day. Because I'm going to feel like I'm 9 years old again, seeing the original Star Wars in theater.
But your back after sitting in those chairs is going to remind you otherwise.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like I'm not 90 years old.
All right. Listen, this is less actually about Critical Drinker, though we're using him as the vehicle for the discussion. The truth is, this is more about what's happened to the common sense of these people. And I'm just saying, look, I'm gonna first thing I'm gonna go in their favor. I understand where maybe this all started. Being actually angry about something, having something to say, genuinely being fired up, because even this man beside me was a part of that same mentality at the time.
100%.
Okay? But at some stage, you begin to realize, well, wait a minute, if I just keep pushing buttons and we just like we can just exponentially grow this thing. But what happened is they stopped having anything resembling any kind of credibility other than just their own anger and ire. Like somehow that makes them like their opinion earnest and everybody believes them. I've had more comments against me that are like, well, Drinker says this and everybody says that. And I'm like, so what? What's the difference? There's no difference. What, because he's got a bigger audience than I do? That makes his word more true. No, it doesn't. Look, you're allowed to like what you like and hate what you hate, but have some kind of consistency. What you pointed out once, and I'm going to let you have the floor to talk about this because I think you need to, is that there's a point where they have established, and I sit here and go, okay, fine. I know what you're about. And then turn around, and in the very next thing, this is wonderful. And I'm like, who are you people? What is this? What are you doing? What is happening here?
Well, not only that, but the idea of being intellectually honest about things is heavily discouraged. Because like what happened to me, and this was obviously a long time ago, but I was heavily into that crowd. I was one of the founding fathers, if you will, of the whole fandom menace movement. Right? I helped Nerdrotic and Doomcock rise to power, which is kind of funny because I had more subs than them and I kept pimping their channels trying to help them out. And and because you're right, we had something to say when we saw movies like Ghostbusters 2016 and the Last Jedi. Remember, this is the era this came out, and Star Trek Discovery right at the beginning, right? We were looking at the stuff saying, what the hell are they doing to our franchises?
Right, what's happening? You want to call attention to what was happening. I get it.
Yeah. Now, all that being said, what happens when you get a W? Well, the problem is if you get a W, you can't show outrage. If you don't show outrage, you lose your audience.
Right.
And so, or what if a movie is just okay, right? Especially a movie that you're expecting to be really bad. And that's what happened in the case of Captain Marvel. Now, I'm sure most of
you opinions about Captain Marvel, but go on. I'm not going to get.
I'm sure most of the people in this audience have seen it. Is it a great movie? No, absolutely not. But is it the absolute train wreck that we were expecting based on Brie Larson's crap that was being sprayed on the internet before it came out? No.
Right.
It was just kind of there. It was a below average Marvel movie, but it was not a bad movie, if that makes sense.
Wow.
And so I said as much.
Daniel Stenson asked a very important question. But if we hate Disney, how can we see the unedited Star Wars?
Yeah, and that's
remember, easy the unedited Star Wars. Other than the fact they are currently the stewards of it, and they had nothing to do with it. So other than they are happily giving it to us in theaters again, and as far as I'm concerned, that's a win. See, but then folks are going to be like, we shouldn't. Don't give them anything. I'm like, this is good.
This is actually a professionally restored Star Wars as well.
Okay, right.
This isn't just like one of the fan edits being put on the big screen. Right. This is a fully restored. And I'll tell you, the thing with the unedited Star Wars, okay, I guarantee, if they say anything, people like Doomcock and Nerdrotic are going to probably say, it's only there because of us. And it's like no.
Righting Wrongs, one of my favorite channels. Thank you. I am honored that you're here, bro. I love you guys. Yeah. They are the ones who do the videos. I think I sent you a link recently where they point out through facts, less hate and more. Hey, here's what's going on. Here's what we've seen. I love this channel. And he puts Captain Marvel as mid, but not completely trash. Thank you, sir. I just felt like the movie was stiff, and I felt like Brie Larson felt like very similar to Captain America, which just happened. I felt like she was a co-star in her own thing, and I felt like she was just sort of there to help push she was the MacGuffin, if that makes sense, until the very end when she reveals herself as being the thing. and you're
Well,
like, oh,
and
okay.
and the thing is that like her stiff personality and stuff, that's not Brie Larson's fault. That was the director, because Brie Larson can act. Watch King Kong, right?
Oh, agreed.
Yeah. So Brie Larson can emote. She can act. You know, is she somebody that I want to elevate because of her political ideology? Obviously, no. But she is. But I. You know what? I don't care about anybody's political ideology in Hollywood because I just assume they're all a bunch of crazies.
Give me a good show, give me a good performance, be the entertainer. You know, like that's why I'm okay. Guess what? Not Gal Gadot. I saw Gal Gadot in Free Preacher thing. Tom Cruise is a whack job Scientologist, but you never know that to watch his movies or watch his promotion. You don't know it. He's a pro.
Yeah.
I'm here to be the movie. I'm going to promote the movie and movies. We're going to do that stuff, and that makes sense. And they don't do that. Writing Wrong says it was also the timing prior to Endgame that helped the film's success. 100%. Hands down. And honestly, it's the same way with Aquaman. Everybody was on a high, and it was like, let's go, and they saw the thing, and it wasn't that great, you know.
So when I reviewed,
appreciate you, man, very much. He says, pleasure to be here, but your brother. Kudos to you both, your quality conversations. Thank you, I appreciate you.
Well, thank you.
I mean that. And if you guys aren't subscribed to him, you absolutely need to be subscribed to Writing Wrong.
I was going to look that up right now.
Yeah, video essays. He does wonder. You'd love them because he says all the same things, but from a very genuine, very fact-based place, which I appreciate. And he's not using hyperbole. He's like, here's the evidence and here's the receipts. You know, and Cruz's side. Well, his managers put the kibosh on it. They're like, look, man, you want to make movies in this town? Stop being a nut job. But my point though is he's a good, like, he knows the rules. Go out there, do your thing. That's like what's her nuts who just said recently. She played Mystique in the X-Men school movies. Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh yeah.
She just came out and said, "Look,
Mystique.
nobody cares about my opinions. I used to have them, and I realized people just want to see me entertain them. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that." And I was like, "Oh my god, somebody got it. Somebody understands. Just shut up." Like Mark Ruffalo, bro, shut up.
Right.
Just I don't want to see you anymore because you're such a jerk in real life.
And you know what?
Whether I agree with you or not, I'm just like, you make me. You're just not pleasant. The heck
I don't need to hear about your opinions about Donald Trump or immigration or anything else. I just want you to pretend that you have superpowers and make it look cool. You know?
That's awesome. I love Billy Bob on Rogan saying, if you want to save a badger, just save the effing badgers, man.
Right.
That's awesome, bro. That's so real.
So, well, and you know, the funny thing,
I would kind of love that. I would kind of love Hollywood's also been talking about doing a new Buck Rogers.
I would love to see a new Buck Rogers.
So would I. I'd love to see a really honest take about it.
But like, think about when celebrities talk.
That guy B. Thank you. He agrees with writing for
you know what?
here.
Nobody cares about wrestling.
We're so good. God. Buck Rogers.
Yeah, but no, when celebrities talk about their political stuff, I hate it. When celebrities do something, then sometimes I can respect that. When Dolly Parton, when her hometown, Sevierville, Tennessee, basically got burned to the ground by a massive wildfire, she personally put up millions of dollars so that everybody that was displaced from the fires had a place to stay at, hotels nearby, until they could rebuild.
Dolly Parton holds a big gala?
She didn't hold a gala. She didn't ask for donations. She just did it, right? As opposed to, now, Hawaii has a big fire.
She's gone, I'm going to cry, bro.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't care about her music at all, but I'm a huge fan of her. But, Hawaii has a big fire. And Oprah Winfrey gets out there and cries and tells people to donate money when she herself had property damaged by the fire. And she is one of the richest people on the planet. And I'm sorry, she could have easily written a check and fixed everything.
Preachers asked, what makes Buck Rogers unique? I'm gonna give you my take, and then I think Salty being closer to it might give his. I loved Buck Rogers. Obviously, I watched it in syndication, but it was such a live action cartoon, and by that I just mean you had these cool robots talking before Star Wars was doing it. You had all these neat things that it was such a wonderful. Well, you're right. It was right. So it was probably a response to that, but they did such a great job in making it a unique version of itself. The out of time element, was wonderful because now Buck Rogers became an analog for us. We're like, oh, what would we experience in the far-flung future? And then he had that futuristic girlfriend and the ship, and Twiggy was amazing, all the things. And then they had their villains who were their mustache twirling space villains, which were very Mongol inspired, like from Flash and stuff. So yeah, man, I love Buck Rogers. I thought it was cool.
So I go back even a little further. I watched some of the old serials before Buck Rogers in the 25th Century came out,
Right.
and because they were on, there was a TV show on weekday afternoons that would show old serials and stuff like that. And Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon were a big part of that.
Very
And
cool.
and I enjoyed the crap out of the serials, as bad as those special effects were.
They were
You could see the string, holding
spaceships.
with a firecracker in the back.
Yeah.
You know, it was so bad, but it was fun adventure,
Yeah.
and that's where what Buck Rogers in the 25th Century. It's kind of funny, was a direct response to Battlestar Galactica.
Yes.
Because
They were
Battlestar,
doing similar things.
well, no, they actually used the same assets.
Oh
If
my
you
God,
look-
they did, didn't they?
yeah,
That's
because-
yeah.
They're both produced by Glenn Larson. They were both. What happened was Battlestar Galactica was too expensive. They couldn't
Right.
afford to do it, and
No,
so
yeah,
then they retooled it and they made Buck Rogers.
And they're like, bro, but
Yeah.
they borrowed. There were also elements. It was
There were a lot of
very
elements
Star
that were-
Trekky elements too, though. Like they
Yeah.
would recolor. They would recolor with colored lights, different sets to make them a different place. Like there was a lot of similar things going. But that was that era. Everybody was kind of inventing the thing,
Yeah, and so and yeah, Robert, the Buck Rogers in the 50s is what I'm talking about. The serials from the old movie theater. My dad used to go to see Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon when they were originally in theaters. Back in
that's
in the
awesome.
40s and 50s.
Others says Buck Rogers also had the original Buck Rogers. So the Buck Rogers show I
Yes.
remember.
No,
had the guy
that was not
who-
Buck Rogers. It was Flash Gordon.
Flash. Oh, okay.
It was the guy that played Flash Gordon in the original serial
very cool.
and he actually played like it was something like Colonel Gordon in Buck Rogers. Yes, Dolly Parton was in the Orville.
I love that episode.
That's like the
It's
one
so
redeeming thing about the show.
Yeah, totally.
Was
My,
Dolly
my
Parton.
wife loved that too because my wife loves Dolly Parton.
By the way,
we're actually-
watching all
She
the
doesn't know
female
this.
what's the name of Borta's species?
she doesn't know this. I'm taking my wife to Dollywood on Monday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're coming up to Tennessee and not going to visit?
Unless you want to meet me over at Dolly World
I see how you are.
or Dollywood.
But anyway, yeah.
That's my
But
early-
watching, what's the name of Borta's species? I always forget.
I forget also right now.
Yeah, but whatever they are,
That's how unimportant they are.
Yeah. Well, but watching all the female ones fighting the male ones while 9 to 5 is playing was great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
A Mocklin. They're called the Mocklin.
Thank you. Yeah, there are moments in the Orville that I can appreciate, even though the show itself as a whole, I have a big problem with.
He's like, I don't know. He's like, whatever.
But anyway, so with Buck Rogers, it's basically just fun space adventure. That's all it is. It's not trying to be super deep. It's not trying to make social commentary, really. It's just trying to be fun space adventure. And that's something that I would love to see again. Because,
Same. I agree.
Star Trek had a lot of social commentary built into it.
did.
But the original series had some fun space adventure as well. But Buck Rogers was just pure, unadulterated. We're just doing this for fun,
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with
you
that.
know. And I think that and by the way, strong female character. It was woke.
Hold on. Literally strong female. That's one of my wife and I's favorite new things. Like she'll always welcome. We open this jar of pickles
She
for
was
me.
Buck's boss.
I love that so much. It was
Um,
amazing. I did love that character.
Yeah,
I
what's her
just
name?
thought she was
Colonel Wilma
Yeah.
Cameltoe.
cool.
Because wow, those outfits.
No, I hear you.
I did love the show, even though the disco vibe of it was stupid.
Very, very, very. It was
You know,
super disco, like
yeah.
silver, loud silver outfit. The whole bit.
Yeah, dancing around with light ropes and it was just There was a lot of dumb things on the show, but it was just dumb, fun space adventure, and that's cool. And by the way, the Starfighters were awesome.
No, they were dope.
You know,
They're very cool.
even though it's funny, you go back and watch it, and you just see them do like the same maneuver over and
100%.
over. But
100%.
at the same time, they're just really cool looking. So
And then half of his reaction shots, but whatever. Anyway, it's good stuff, man. I enjoyed it.
So yeah, I would love to see a remake of Buck Rogers. I would love to see a remake of Flash Gordon. Those kinds of fun-filled, swashbuckling space adventure would be great to see. It's what the original Star Wars was, and to a lesser extent, I think they recaptured that a bit with the Mandalorian, but a lot of the later Star Wars they did not.
Battlestar Galactica was that was not before Star Trek. It was after Star Trek.
No, Battlestar Galactica was in I don't remember if it was 77 or 78 that it premiered. It was immediately after Star Wars.
The next question that I see on here that I want to answer was not OG Flash Gordon, not that one. Forgive me. When does Lost in Space? Where does Lost in Space come in? Lost in Space was at the tail end of Star Trek. Lost
in Space predates Star Trek, I believe.
Did it?
Yes.
It had black and white episodes.
Yeah, the first season was entirely black and white.
You're right.
And by the way, the first season of Lost in Space, really tense space adventure. It's not fun-filled, wacky like it became later. The first season is deadly serious.
Yeah, it was very, I would argue, inspired by things like Twilight Zone in terms of wanting to establish tension. They weren't like, or even what do you call it? Remember the original space movie with the spaceman that comes out? The Last Day on
space
Earth
movie with the spaceman.
No, the famous one where the big silver robot guy is the.
The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Thank you. Very Day the Earth Stood Still vibes in terms of how they were always building. Like it was terrifying those first seasons.
Oh, but you want to see? It's kind of funny because we forget that in all those crazy cheesy movies from the 50s, that there were some really good ones. Day the Earth Stood Still is one of them. But there's another one that most people don't talk about. It's an action movie, and it's an alien invasion movie with shockingly good special effects. Huh? No, I'm talking about the 1950s. Not
my bad. I didn't know that. Okay, sorry. I loved V.
Shockingly good special effects, really good action, a lot of tension, and it's called Earth versus the Flying Saucers.
Shut up.
I'm not kidding. That's the name of the movie.
That's the movie that inspired Mars Attacks.
Yeah, if you haven't, because the Flying Saucers are exactly the same as the Mars Attacks Flying Saucers. Love that movie. Because it's like I said, if you haven't seen it, watch it. You will thank me. It's a shockingly you're going to be surprised it was made in the 1950s.
Wow.
If it wasn't for the fact that it's in black and white, you would think it was made at least in the 80s. Earth versus the Flying Saucers, really good movie. But Lost in Space, I enjoyed the show, but Lost in Space to me is a lot like Star Trek today, because it was not science fiction, it was family drama in space.
Right. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, just like Star Trek today is not, especially like Strange New Worlds is kind of and Lower Decks are kind of the exceptions, but a lot of the modern Star Trek is not science fiction, it's Gilmore Girls in space.
It's so true. Oh my God!
Because that's where the writers came from.
Yeah. No,
and that's and in fact, it's funny. I was talking to a person who's at MTSU Film School right now, and she's hoping to become a movie director and everything. And we were talking about. I said, "What's your favorite genre?" And she was talking about she loves science fiction, and so we really got into a big old conversation about it.
Nice, dude.
And one thing that science fiction today has no science.
That's a problem.
And man, it bugs me because even as stupid as it is, even the original series, there's very little techno babble, but when they talk about science, they're usually talking about real science.
Yeah.
And it's surprising how accurate they are. Yeah, they have warp drive and transporters, which are impossible, but they also when they talk about real science, they get it right.
Right.
And so with a few really stupid exceptions, like the fact that when they cured a disease, they called it a vaccine. But
Disney's made a deal with OpenAI, and Sora app is awesome. Disney made to make a deal with OpenAI. The Sora app is basically any Apple app or AI app you might buy on the App Store. In that it's a one-trick pony. Here, you want to see me say and do funny things with famous people or with characters? Like this one guy on TikTok, he's doing nothing but Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka doing rap songs, and that's his whole shtick. And so it feels like
this. I got 18 billion views.
I'm like, this thing, I know, but this thing can't, like, to me, it doesn't. I love AI as a tool, by the way, love it. I feel like there's definitely a future for it. But I feel like this guy, like, these are the lowest common denominator things for it. So, I'm okay. I think everyone's like, everybody who's shocked that Disney made this is like, how could they do it? The entire
I don't like
industry is run by money.
Yeah.
And clearly, and you're like, but nobody wants this. Nobody wants this. Maybe Disney knows something you don't.
Yeah. I think that I don't like when people that get these AI apps out there and they're putting up tons and tons of content on YouTube and stuff, which is just basically, let's take a character from one movie, stick them in another movie, or let's take a character and make them do something they wouldn't do or whatever.
And people want to be entertained.
Yeah,
Are you not entertained?
But what I honestly, I genuinely wonder, is that going to end up biting people in the butt? Like, is Hollywood going to start saying, yeah, deep fake stuff, we're going to start suing people?
The problem is that the people who are signing and approving these things are the owners of the thing or their likenesses. So, for instance, what are you going to do about the fact? Hold on, what are you going to do about the fact that what's his name? What's his nuts? Kane, the guy from Batman. He played. I can't remember his name right now. Anyway, but he's just licensed his voice.
Oh, Tom Hardy.
No, the guy who played Alfred.
Oh,
Michael Caine. Michael Caine. And everyone's like, "How could you do it?" Because he's old and he wants money for his family afterwards. And frankly,
that's fine. But if Michael Caine wants to say, "I'm going to sell my likeness for people to make with deep fakes," I'm fine with that.
11 Labs, you can get a Michael Caine voiceover.
But the thing is, well, yeah, but you can go on right now and depending on the app and just riff anybody.
I know, but we're trying to have a conversation about doing things legally. Okay, right. We don't go telling people to go to the high seas either when it comes to.
I'm not saying go to the high seas. I'm saying.
I'm saying, like, I get it. I don't want to do it illegally.
Right, but I'm saying like right now you could go to Grok and say, do a picture of Donald Trump laughing while the White House is burning behind him, right? And it'll produce a picture. Now, what happens if and when legislation happens that says you can't just take someone and deep fake them like that? Is that going to do all the? I mean, think about it. Even like these righting wrongs guys, which are sure they're awesome. I'm looking at their channel. A lot of their thumbnails are obvious AI generated things where you have like Donald Trump sitting there talking to Gal Gadot and stuff, and which is fine.
Well, and to be fair, a lot of folks are doing that right now. Like there's a commentary guy named Ben. I do too. Yeah. Well, look at our thumbnail for this channel. I literally put both of our faces in Kling.
But you did a deep fake of us.
Yeah. Right. No, I get it. You're right.
And so I have no problem with people doing it to themselves. I just get iffy about is it okay, not just legally, but is it ethically okay to steal someone's image like that? I don't know the answer.
No, I think it's not ethically okay, but I think it's here's the problem. Everything is living within the holes in the system we originally created that we never thought would be a problem. Right. So AI over in the UK was up for thing. It was up copyright. So what did the judge say? Okay, show me right now in your large language model their thing that's copyrighted. Go. And the guy said, I can't. Why not? Because it's just numbers and data. It's the training data. It's not the thing. And he went, so we can't find the copyrighted thing in your thing. No. All right, case dismissed. Sorry. Because at the end of the day, it's for copyright law protects copies of something. But if this is not copying in literal full, then you can't. That's the part you have to prove.
Well, okay, so I think
what I'm saying is there's holes. I agree. There's holes in the system we're using, like what you just talked about. Right now, likeness rights are so.
That's
all these people sold all these people sold their stuff for different things, and it's like they never covered those aspects. So now you have to. But everyone's like, "Well, I never gave my approval." You didn't not give your approval either. You signed what you signed is what they use, which says, as Luke Skywalker, we're allowed to use the likeness of Mark Hamill in perpetuity. They didn't tell you it was for generating an AI so that Luke Skywalker could walk around with somebody in a video made on TikTok. And now he's like, wait a minute, hold on, what's going on? So there's loopholes.
So if Disney owns the rights to Luke Skywalker, and so they can make AI generated Luke Skywalker adventures forever. Because they own Luke Skywalker, as opposed to they don't own Mark Hamill, but if he's wearing a stupid white robe and carrying a lightsaber around, they own that. By the way, me no other. I totally disagree with your sentiment there as far as
what? Which one? Sorry, I blew through me no other's comments because they were interesting really fast. Forgive me.
Well, the future is open domain and open source.
To be fair, when copyright was established, it was only established with a 25-year finite period. Why? Because creativity was supposed to be given back to the world. So people could make derivatives and continues. And over time, that has extended and gone from 35, 50, 100 years now. And it's like, what's the intent of all this?
So, for example, I don't have a problem with...
I love this, by the way. I saw this one too. Mr. Rogers answering the door and Bob Ross breaking down the door with an axe.
That's... Yeah, you see, how long is it going to be? It can be funny, but what happens when a kid sees Mr. Rogers like axe murdering someone because someone did a deep fake? And I don't like the potential of that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. But at this point, is that objection enough? And able to is that objection?
I'm just talking about the ethics,
the forward momentum. I agree, but now you're having a conversation that belongs at a girls' college. Okay,
girls' college.
Yeah, wow. You're like we're going to talk about the ethics of a thing, but the ethics isn't changing a thing.
But
so
the ethics,
if you want to change, no, I understand that, but the debate is what is the point of having this debate? Just so that we are aware of the ethics we are breaking, or because guess what? They are aware of it. They are aware. Nobody cares. They just don't. By the way, I want to go on record as saying I'm not saying that's right, and I'm not saying it's good because I'm not taking an ethical stance. I'm simply saying, how do you stop the 1 million-pound juggernaut rolling across the planet? And you don't. Okay. By the way, I don't mean across because it's flat. For those of you playing at home, I mean around the planet.
Hey, come on now! Don't you make
or doing prawn? I don't want to see Mr. Rogers doing prawn. Nothing like shrimp all over the place. Prawn left and right.
Sooner or later, it's going to happen, though.
You going to see him doing prawn? It's terrible.
It's
Mr. Rogers only fan. Stop. I'm going to hell for making that joke. I'm sorry. Forgive me, Mr. Rogers. It's be no other.
We're going to go to the land of imagination.
Coming in with the hot take. It's up to parents to explain to their kids, not censorship.
Okay, whatever.
By the way, I'm not taking a stance one way or another. I genuinely am. I would much rather hear you guys argue and fight this out.
I would say this. It's real easy to say, the parents need to take care of this. And to a certain extent, that's absolutely true. Like, should parents give kids unfettered access to the internet all day long?
God, no.
But right now, in society, some of this stuff can't be avoided. All right, it's not. We are beyond the point of parents just need to control it.
Stop it!
Because it's everywhere.
Street preacher, take off that sweater. Hold on. Slowly. I had to read it in that context. That's how I saw it. I was
what? But also, he's going to be doing. Here's what's going to happen.
No,
no.
Don't do it.
I've always wanted to have
No, stop
you, my
it!
friend.
No!
You know,
No, do it! Oh, God.
somebody's gonna do it. Yes,
Uh,
or he's gonna like change his pants and stuff.
all right, listen. For in all genuineness, go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's discuss the. Go ahead. Tell me what's your ethical point?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious. All of this stuff is demeaning people and